Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Shazam is coming out in a couple weeks, and I get to watch it next week amongst lots of other people for that 2 week early screening of Shazam on March 23rd, and it's going to be a huge blast. I'm hearing great, incredible, fun things about the film, and I can't wait to see for myself. I can't wait to see the surprises that are in store in that film. Things that aren't even shown in the trailer. I mean, they've said the trailer shows you almost nothing, and I like when they say that because we can have, that almost expect a lot more coming out of the film. So I am really eager for that. But as any movie, there is a projected box office opening weekend. Now, this box office opening weekend is only for domestic territories, right? So it has nothing to do with worldwide. This movie is opening worldwide in a matter a few days apart from each other, but essentially, it will open up at the same time. So it's going to be a huge worldwide box office, I believe. It's going to look huge because the numbers are just going to pour in. But in terms of domestic, here in America, it's being reported, and this is coming from Variety, that Shazam could grow to as much as $40 million in ticket sales when it hits North American theaters on April 5th. This is early tracking suggests. Now, that's not a lot. Granted, that's not a lot, but this is early tracking, and it could get more. As you can see, it always fluctuates as people get on in the groove. When it gets closer, they'll be like, oh, I want to watch that movie, and start getting pre-sale tickets and things like that. I don't know if this counts that Fandango pre-screening, early screening or not, but 40 million is kind of small for a superhero film. But looking at the production budget of only what is reported only $80 million production budget, before marketing and distribution, that is quite a not bad number. 40 million is a not bad number for that low production budget. Okay, usually you'd see like 150, and so like for $150 million production budget, you double that for like marketing and stuff, like 300 million. It would need to make like 600 million to break even or something like that. Something spectacularly huge. Sorry, it is hot today, but for this movie, it doesn't have to go that way. If this movie even makes like 500-600, it would make money. And right now, even though the box office projection tracking is low, it could grow more. And if this thing opens up at 80 million, it paid for his production budget. And he'll just have to keep making to pay for the marketing, distribution, and actually make more after all the ticket sales and how many the theaters have to make, all that kind of stuff. I still feel good about this, that it is in the 40 million right now, especially when sometimes they box office they underestimate, and then when it comes out, it'll actually be a lot grander than it is. But who knows? Even small opening box office openings can result into huge, massive worldwide numbers. As you can see, there's a lot of big superhero movies that are like front loaded and things like that, where they come out at 100, 200 million, and then it slowly goes away. But Aquaman, now I have to remind you, Aquaman opened at $67 million opening weekend, up to like 67 to 70 million, for something like that. Not big, but the weekend after weekend drops were so small. It wasn't like 50 or 60%. It was much lower than that. That it just kept making money. And for a $67 million opening weekend, it went on to make up over $1 billion worldwide. So I wouldn't worry. It could go the other way, sure, but the word of mouth, it sounds like the reaction so far sounds like this one is a keeper. This one is something really special that you can take your kids and watch over and over. So I'm looking forward to the buzz on this. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself and giving you my thoughts about it as I get to watch it in theaters in Burbank, California. All right, so that is Shazam. And I think because of the success of both Aquaman and Shazam, I think that's why we're kind of finally moving forward with The Flash. This is an exclusive from Geeks Worldwide. Warner Brothers The Flash currently eyeing November 2019 production start. Because I think with the success of these other DC films, I think the studio says, let's move on ahead with some of these movies, other movies that are in production. Let's do it. Whatever you want. They're telling the directors, like they promised, it's director driven. So they're saying, hey, Jonathan Goldstein, John Francis Daly, what do you got? Are you guys ready? Go ahead. Let's look at a November 2019 production, which, sounds familiar. I mean, wasn't that when the Batman was supposed to start eyeing production as well? Either case, I think they want a DC film to start production on November 2019. And if we're here, it's going to either be The Flash or the Batman or both. Who knows? But here's a little tidbit. So Spider-Man Homecoming scribes Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly are writing and directing the pick. Ezra Miller is also still slated to play the titular character. The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise has reportedly caused delays in production before due to Miller's commitments, but with Fantastic Beasts 3 postponed, and DC's latest solo film, Aquaman, making over $1 billion at the box office, Warner Brothers seems to be fast-tracking the Scarlet Speedster solo film. Delays are still possible due to the unknown production schedule of Fantastic Beasts 3, but it's unlikely it comes together before The Flash does. So they're going to pick and choose. Looks like Fantastic Beasts 3 is not going to go on. They had a lot of problems with the second one. Johnny Depp is a major character in this series, and he's having a little bit I guess we call marital issues right now. So, there's a lot of delays on that, and maybe things with writing. J.K. Rowling's trying to do a rewrite on stuff, who knows. But that delay, even though if you're a Fantastic Beasts fan, I'm sorry. But your delay is helping the DCEU's Flash come out faster. So if I were to pick, I'm not really a Harry Potter fan, so I'm going to pick that The Flash gets produced first. Please. That would be so awesome, and it would actually at least have some of the core characters, core heroes have their own films, and that's something very much to look forward to, and I've been wanting to see a Flash movie, not a CW Flash, but what this will do. Time traveler? Are they going to do multi-dimensions, multiverse? Are you going to open it wide open? What's going to happen with this type of movie? And looking forward to that, especially when they made that movie Game Night, and they had that one-shot take. I'm dying to see how they managed to do that one-shot take, but with the Scarlet Speedster, with Flash. So that would be really interesting in itself. And so, speaking of core characters, there is one other person that needs to get a sequel, and it is finally coming out. I think production's done. Patty Jenkins working really hard on it, and Vulture got to catch up with Charles Roven, the veteran producer who produced a lot of these DC films like Justice League, Batman v Superman, and all this stuff. And so he talked a little bit about Wonder Woman 2, Wonder Woman 1984. And this is interesting and weird at the same time because he says this. She was just determined, he's talking about Patty Jenkins, that she was just determined that this movie should be the next iteration of Wonder Woman, but not a sequel, Roven tells Vulture. And she's definitely delivering on that. It's a completely different time frame, and you'll get a sense of what Diana / Wonder Woman had been doing in the intervening years. But it's a completely different story that we're telling. Even though it will have a lot of the same emotional things, a lot of humor, a lot of brave action, tugs at the heartstrings as well. Now, that is an interesting comment. Seeing that this movie is not before the World War I or World War II time period, but it takes place after, in the 80s, and it still has Gal Gadot as Princess Diana. Chris Pine comes back as Steve Trevor, and it's not a sequel. I mean, technically, in terms, that's what a sequel is. So I don't think he meant it literally, but I guess you can say it doesn't actually connect to the first one, which doesn't make sense because Steve Trevor is in this as well. So how does that connect? Is it a retelling or something? That part I don't understand. And for me, for all intents and purposes, it sounds like a sequel, which there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't know why they want to go there. It's almost like they are, in a way, distancing themselves from how that movie went, the tone and whatever that movie went. Which is okay, as long as all of Patty Jenkins' ideas are in this. She's not influenced by the studio to make it a certain way. That's why we want creative integrity for her, and it's seemingly to go this way. So I'm very curious, and I know we're going to have a teaser or a trailer, a full-on trailer, at the July San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm looking forward to that as we get closer. Jenkins, who is currently holed up in London, and says is about 25% of the way through post-production on Wonder Woman 1984, which is that year, and features Chris Pine wearing a fanny pack. So she even said that it's a standalone film in the same way that Indiana Jones or Bond films are, instead of one continuous story that requires many installments. So the way she said that is also interesting. So Indiana Jones, she's right, Raiders of Lost Ark, Temple of Doom supposedly was the prequel, and stuff like that. So it in that type of sense of words, I can totally get it, where certain characters will come back, but it's not a continuous story. In this case, Steve Trevor did die, and so they would have to remark on his death, which pertains to that actually happened, like a very connected story in that sense. So, I mean, I guess, but it's still a sequel, all intents and purposes. But who knows? Whatever. I mean, as long as this story is good, I think what she means is that if you didn't watch the first one, you dive right into this Wonder Woman 1984. You don't have to know about the first Wonder Woman, and that's fine. I think that's what she means. And I think it's going to be a different type of story, maybe. Maybe it's going to be more magical. Maybe it's going to be got that more Linda Carter flair. Who knows? Looking for it. I'm surprised they haven't really shown Cheetah. That's pretty awesome. Let's see what this is all about, and we're gonna have a lot of time to speculate from here on to the next year. It was supposed to have come out this year, but now it's gonna come out next year. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm pretty much positive that we're gonna get a full trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, the first full trailer or a teaser. Well, we got a sort of a teaser from the last one. It wasn't come out publicly, but you got to see 2 scenes. It was leaked out on the internet from last year's San Diego Comic-Con. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to show something, because there's nothing, right? There's Birds of Prey. Okay, well, Birds of Prey. There's Joker and possibly Wonder Woman 1984 at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. So yeah, and that's it. So very exciting for more DCEU films coming out. Probably the most exciting of today was that The Flash looks like it's going to start I'm not going to be too comfortable until they actually are on set and they're shooting, like Ezra Miller's on set in costume and we're shooting. Then I'll be a little bit more comfortable before, we get more delays and stuff like that. All right, guys. Well, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.